Hello everyone, it's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Totally Under Control, which is the new documentary that came out on Hulu that takes a look at the U.S. response to COVID. They keep branding this as like a documentary that was filmed in secret, and now they're finally releasing it, and this documentary hits so close to home right now, and so frustrating, and like watching this documentary legitimately pissed me off because all the things going on in our country, and this looks at actual government workers and people close involved in what would have been the proper response to things, and just thinking about how inept all of the preparations to fight this disease have been. And obviously, like, there's a wide spectrum on how people feel about this, and you can have your feelings about it one way or the other, but, over 200,000 people have died, and yet people still think it's a myth, and will still refuse to wear masks, which I wear a mask to my job, wear it the whole entire day, don't really take it off, and I'm still sitting here perfectly fine. And watching this documentary, and like, it only spends a little bit of time looking at like everyday people's response to, like, how dare you making me wear a mask, and they show all the videos of like the quote-unquote Karens at stores, and just horrible people coughing in other people's faces and being physically violent with them because they want to throw little baby tantrums because you want to make me wear a mask. And those videos are just frustrating enough, and that's like 30 seconds of this film. But what really is scary is watching this documentary and seeing just what people knew in our government at the beginning, what they chose not to do, or chose what to specifically do, and all these different things from like masks, PPE. Why did we not have any? And they even talked to specific suppliers in the supply chain who tried to warn people of this, and they were just like, nah. And then after all this started happening and people were like, where's the PPE? Where's masks? And them having to sit in front of Congress and being like, I warned you. I warned the government, and thinking about how we dragged our feet so much in this. And this specific film takes a lot of time comparing us to South Korea and how they've been able to get back into a decent amount of normalcy at this point and keep the virus at bay while working on a vaccine, because they quickly and properly set up quarantine, had masks. So like, they didn't really have to do a lot of the stuff we still are doing. What is this, 7 months later? Because nobody wants to be consistent. Everyone's just like, let the states decide. Because a global pandemic isn't a federal thing. It should all be decided by each state individually. Yet there's not many things that I trust the government to do. I don't really want big central federal government, but there's a few things, like when something's affecting the whole country equally. And that's the thing. At the beginning it was just like, oh, it's only these blue states, and like it's only California and New York, and look at it now, it's the closing in on the end of October, and we had the most COVID cases reported in a single day this whole entire time, because there's like, I live in New Jersey, there's 39 other states on our no entry list. So like, the whole country is in like a shit show right now. And this documentary is so biting in how it presents, like, this could have happened, and it looks at all the scientists, which apparently science is a bad thing now. Because, all these people go to medical school and study for years and years and years and years for nothing. For, like, what, magic? Or, like, it's something that's just like, oh, you could believe it if you want to, if you believe those scientists. This is literally their jobs. They spent their whole lives working on stuff like this. And how they've been shut in, and how they've been told to express things in a certain way or to cover things up. And I guess just in general, totally under control is such a biting indictment on our country and how horribly we mess this up. And we're still messing it up because it's still horrible. And if anybody thinks it's magically going to disappear, I don't know what to tell you. But honestly, I think everybody should watch this documentary. And those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.